Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? I hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, we've got some John Carpenter news. Oh yes, Big JC, not Jesus Christ. He's more powerful than that. It's John Carpenter, the creator of my favourite characters and favourite films of all time. Yeah, we know all that jazz. Now, actually this is not really news, because this news came out almost a week ago, maybe a bit longer. But no, don't worry. He's not returning to the directorial chair. I know he did some recent stuff whilst filming from his gaming chair in California, and he was over Zoom was directing episodes of this TV show, a horror anthology TV show, which was being filmed in Bulgaria or Budapest. Is it Buda? Is it Pest? People in there go Budapest. It's two places on either side of a river. That's what it is. Anyway. He did that, and I wasn't massively impressed with that ethos there. But I love John Carpenter. For me, he's done plenty of wrong things, but he's done so much which is great to grandiose to majestic that I'll always forgive him. Now, not making movies, he's doing comic books and playing video games. Yeah, he's keeping busy. In his retirement, he's been busier than ever. But music is the thing. The thing, indeed. Now, he, with his own son, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies, the son of Dave Davies from the Kinks, have been plugging away, noodling on synths and strumming guitars for years now. They released 3 albums, Lost Themes, Volumes 1, 2 and 3. I've reviewed all 3 of them. And they released Anthology, which is somewhere there. And you're listening to it now, which is the main titles of a slew of his main movie hits, but remixed with modern technology. And of course, he's been on World Tour as well. And they do intend to do that again, from what I've heard. And I saw him not once, but twice. 2 nights running. I saw him in Liverpool and I saw him in Manchester. And both times I was completely bedecked in full McCready costume. And they were amazing nights. Brilliant. Although at some point, 4D regularly contributed to the channel. Do check out his comments in the comment section below, because he writes essays down there. And they're very erudite and very well thought out. Very clever, very inspiring. Me and Mrs. Kilt-Man, after the Manchester gig for John Carpenter, got lost in this suburban wasteland, which may well have been, New York maximum security penitentiary. It was a wasteland. The pubs all shut, and we were stuck there trying to get back to our hotel. And I was in full McCready gear. And I did report back it on this channel, and I said we were stuck in this shithole called Eccles, which is a suburb of Manchester, just outside of Manchester. And 4D, who I'd known for a while but didn't know where he lived, he got on to me and he said, straight away, he said, by the way, I live in Eccles. And I was like, oh my God, this gob of mine gets me in so much trouble. But he said, no, but you're dead right, it is a shithole. We've actually been through it a couple of times since, and obviously at speed with bulletproof jackets on and helmets and visors. But yeah. So John Carpenter and music, brilliant. Synonymous with synth, of course, electronic sounds, creating his own soundtracks for his movies because he was cheaper and on time. So, and I've discussed his music, I've played his music a hell of a lot. Well, Anthology came out, God, when was that? About three years ago, something like that, on the regular label Sacred Bones. And well, the rundown, we're hearing it now, was In the Mouth of Madness, Assault on Precinct 13, The Fog, Prince of Darkness, Santiago from Vampires. Not a fan, folks, of the film. Escape from New York, Halloween, Pork Chop Express from Big Trouble in Little China, They Live, The Thing, which wasn't his score anyway, although he did add bits to it with his regular collaborator Alan Howarth. But it was Ennio Morricone who did the score for The Thing. Thing behind me there. Starman, which wasn't John Carpenter again, it was Jack Nietzsche. Dark Star and Christine. A powerhouse lineup. But again, not that great many stuff actually in there. And I remember when that came out, I was disappointed because A, some of them didn't sound different enough, and some of them were given a bit of a rock grungy sort of feel to them as well. And I thought, well, I don't like that. And that is what I found when he was doing the live gigs, that a lot of these themes, and everyone's going crazy, wow, you know, but the guitar's coming in, and I thought, no, Carpenter's stuff is synth, it's electronica. And anyway, not Metallica, it's electronica. It's getting very, very bright here. Hang on a second. It was kind of dull and rainy before, and I thought, oh, we'll open the curtains. But no, the sun's come out now again to conspire to screw up my photography. Anyway, so I wasn't too fussed on that, but Anthology II, Anthology II is coming out on, I think, the 2nd of October. Should check that really. It's coming out fairly soon anyway. And it's another batch of themes, but they're not the main themes from the movies this time. They're other tracks from within those scores. And everyone's like, yeah, all the John Carpenter fans are like, yay, wow, more John Carpenter. Yes, yes. And I thought, Anthology 2? I wasn't that fussed on Anthology 1. I preferred all the original cuts rather than these. But having played this one again a few times now, I've gone like, oh, do you know what? I'm looking forward to this now. Against My Sacred Bones. Now, I will read you the rundown of what's going to be out on Anthology 2. And it does appear that a lot of what's on this has already been released, because Sacred Bones and Shout Factory did 4K deluxe special editions of many John Carpenter movies, and attached with 7-inch single versions of these tracks. So it appears to be those again, and there was one which was The Thing Lost Cues, but all that is, folks, is the little cues that John Carpenter did to pad out Ennio Morricone's score for The Thing, because as we all know, John Carpenter suddenly had a big budget and a much more command. Universal were backing him after the success of Halloween, Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween, and The Fog, and then the bigger sort of immediate success of Escape from New York and Halloween 2. Universal, right, we're backing you. So his first of a couple of really bad experiences with big studios, and The Thing flopped big style. We know all this, and I've discussed it 1,000 times over, so we don't need all this, but I haven't got to do a score, and I've got the budget to bring in a composer. What, wouldn't it be a dream come true to get one of my favourite composers of all time, Ennio Morricone, he of Giallo, he of adventure, he of sexy thrillers and sex dramas and comedies, but spaghetti westerns as well. Wow, could they get him? Yeah, they got him. But Ennio Morricone works to a different sort of style than many other composers. He doesn't sit and compose after, that's me on the piano, sit and compose whilst watching the movie. He reads the script, stays in Italy, gets his orchestra together and composes marathon suites, just majestic, fabulous music, which he then, right, there you go, to the director, who's then got to go, right, we've got to try and cut these bits down and find where to fit them in. And many directors have had to go through this. And Carpenter went, what's he gone and done here? He sent me the score. It sounds like what I would do. I chose Ennio Morricone because it would be vastly orchestral and beautiful and symphonic. And he's just done a metronomic main theme, which is what I would do. And it's because Ennio Morricone, I thought, well, John Carpenter, who he? What's he done? What kind of style is he like? So listened to John Carpenter's scores for the likes of Halloween, Escape from New York, Assault on Precinct 13 and The Fog. And right, he just likes dun 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 dun. I know, I'm making my own theme up there, but that's the point. It was just a metronomic beat, a rhythm, very minimalistic, very simplistic. And Carpenter was like, that just sounds like what I would do. But hey, it still sounds good. And it is, it's awesome, isn't it? But he did some tracks which Carpenter did not like. And if you get the full score, I've got the original vinyl for The Thing. And I've got every version of the thing ever since, and score-wise and movie-wise. And there are the cues that Morricone come up with, which are not heard in the movie, are bloody awful. They are, and I love Morricone's stuff, but I've always said John Carpenter did the right thing, excise those bits. But then he realised, well, Christ, we've not got enough music in the movie now. So he and Alan Howarth had to go back in and compose their own stuff. Now, we've had the full score to the thing been released since. I've got it, I've played it for you guys many times. And there's quite a bit of brief Carpenter and Howarth stingers and little momentary fragments which scene together, all like the scene of Morricone stuff and then more Morricone stuff, but there's a big gap in between. But we need music here. So Carpenter and Howarth came in with their own stuff, pure synth, of course. And it's those tracks which came out on the full score, excising all the other bits that Morricone did, which of course appeared for Quentin Tarantino on the Hateful Eight score, because he put those bits in there. And which is just a westernised version of the thing, even with Kurt Russell as well, with humongous hair and facial foliage, just reprising MacReady, but with a slightly smaller hat this time round. And again, no one can trust anybody. But on that full score, all those bits of Carpenter and Howarth are on there. Now, on this forthcoming Anthology II, I shall now, well, did I not read it out? I didn't read it out, did I? You've got, amongst all the other tracks that are on there from the previous movies, you've got, it's the lost edits, the lost cuts from the thing. So there's 1, 2, 3, there's 3 thing tracks in there, but we've already got them. They already exist. And apparently the rest of these already exist as well. If you've got those lavish box sets from Shout Factory and Sacred Bones, then you've got these already. But at least this is going to come out on digital and on CD. So here's the original one, and I've got all Lost Themes volumes 1, 2, and 3 on proper CD. And some of you rich people have bought them on the vinyl as well. I haven't gone as far as to do that. But so I will be getting the CD of Anthology II. I shall now read to you what's on there. Chariots of Pumpkins from Halloween 3. I think it's just over there somewhere. There it is. The 69th Street Bridge from Escape from New York. Oh yeah, that is. The steel drums and everything's, well, synthesized steel drums are going there, but obviously the Duke of New York, Isaac Hayes, the King of Soul. So it's got that kind of rhythm to it. The Alley War from Big Trouble in Little China. Wake Up from They Live. Julie's Dead from Assault on Precinct 13. Now, I'll be honest, I play Assault on Precinct 13 all the time. It's one of my favourite scores. The tracks, the windows, and their second wave, and the main theme are just outstanding. And of course, the main theme has been used by every DJ worth his salt, worth his mixing finger. Because there's been so many remixes of that, which is just unparalleled. That bass line is just tremendous, and Carpenter came up with that. But every time I play that, I always skip past Julie's Dead. It's kind of like it's the forlorn moment, and Nancy Loomis has been wasted. A stray bullet has gone through her and killed her in the big assault on the on Precinct 13. But you've got a couple of tracks from Halloween 2. The Shape enters Laurie's room, which is great, and The Shape stalks again from Halloween 2. Now, I have always said I prefer Halloween 2 score to the original Halloween. How dare you! What sacrilege is that? It's not sacrilege at all. Carpenter and Howarth took all the themes which were piano-led on Halloween and gave it this icy, scalpel-sharp, scintillating, glistening synth theme edge to it, because it's set in a hospital. My God, and it works. It's the same themes but completely reworked into this synth vernacular, and it's gorgeous and I love it. So I'm quite intrigued to hear, because I've not heard these, the 7-inch single versions which came out. I've not heard those. So I'm intrigued to hear how they sound. You've got, what was it now? Season of the Witch, again from Halloween 3. You've got Love at a Distance from Prince of Darkness, which is a bit of an unusual one. I'm not sure why he's picked that one. There's better tracks there from One of the best scores he ever came up with, the most textured, layered, and incredibly nuanced is Prince of Darkness. And that and Big Trouble in Little China are the most audacious scores he's come up with so many other themes and elements and motifs, and such splendid texturing layers, multiple layers of sound. You really push the boundaries there. But from The Thing, you've got Bennett, Fuchs, to Max Shack. But they'll be familiar to everyone. But you've also got Laurie's theme from Halloween, the original Halloween, but of course you hear it again, Halloween 2. And you've got Walk to the Lighthouse from The Fog, Adrienne Barbeau, that dreamy, glistening, barren cliffs, windswept, which she's walking down those steps to the lighthouse. Fantastic. So that's not a bad little lineup, to be honest. Oh yeah, sorry, I said 2nd of October. It actually says here, if I just read on, the 6th of October. The 6th of October. Digitally and physically. So get your orders in now. Now, here's where I'm going to probably run into a bit of trouble. Cheers, y'all. But we'll chance it. They have released a track from this already, and it's Chariots of Pumpkins from Halloween 3. And I've got it. Of course I've got it. And now, the thing is, it is the original thing that they put out on those box sets. So it's been out before, and it's all over YouTube. So it's the same friggin' thing. But you watch, or well, I'll watch as I play this and my video gets blocked. You won't see it if it gets blocked because it'll be blocked. But we're going to try it anyway. So, you can hear that with the guitars. Now this is the sort of thing that I don't like. It's a remix, I know, but it's The Thing, and having round doesn't really sit well with me, which is why I didn't like Anthology, the first one. Oh yeah. Now this sounds really good. Jack Nietzsche's fabulous score for Starman. Jeff Bridges, The Baby Will Know. Oh God. It is gorgeous. Karen Allen and Jeff Bridges. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I need to discuss Starman properly someday. It's one of those films that I don't really return to very often. I did during the 80s. I watched it enormous amounts of times. And I'm going to get off this, because I start getting emotional. Right, he turns, he waves and walks off into that red haze with all the sort of digital crystals coming, I don't know what they are, the light beams coming down, and then off he's gone to that upturned UFO mothership, which was ripped off from an earlier movie. The exact same imagery from an earlier film, which was scored by Tangerine Dream. You see, I've cunningly not mentioned the name of the film, because I've forgotten it. I've forgotten the name of the film. I have discussed this before. Right, so let's go on to... This is the remix of Chariots of Pumpkins. And it sounds pretty authentic, doesn't it? There's a slight cleaner polish to it. And I'm a massive fan of Halloween 3. I have reviewed it. And I've got all the masks, and Colonel Carpenter did an impersonation of of him doing the speech, Dan O'Herlihy doing the speech about Samhain, the festival of Samhain, when the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children. Now that sounds really authentic. That sounds the same. That beats there, that great, that rhythm. It's calmness, it's minimalist, but he puts in these extra wow wow bits. So you have a couple of layers. It's very simplistic, this. But there's a really great doom-laden element to Halloween 3. Well, it's part of his apocalypse series of movies, including The Thing and Prince of Darkness. Because it's the end, basically. It's apocalyptic. You've got Dr. Dan Chalice, Tom Atkins. He'd have been struck off a long time ago. Slapping nurses' bums, pinching them. He's shagging that one. He arranges a date with this one. He's a dirty randy Tom Atkins. But he's great, we love him. And he picks up bloody Laurie Strode, well, Jamie Lee Curtis in The Fog, and barely have they had a smashed windscreen and driven 10 yards down the road. Then he's bonking the arse off her as well. Tom Atkins, gotta love him now. But I'll bet even Big Tom was thinking, oh, I wish Adrienne Barbeau had been the hitchhiker and put Jamie in the lighthouse. But no, Adrienne Barbeau was married to Big John at the time. Lucky Big John. There's quite an energy to this. Can you hear that? There's an extra element to it. There's a little sort of chirruping that's going on there. I mean, Halloween 3 is a very, purely synthesized electronica score. I'm just trying to think, where did the guitars come into that? That just sounds like pure John, just doing what pure John purely does. It does hit that sudden, the whole rhythm just stops. We sail out into this. Chariots of Pumpkins, it'll come on again now. But it is wonderful. Okay, well, if it wasn't blocked to begin with, I'll be blocked now. But let's go on to the actual proper one. Let's do it from the original album itself. Can we find it? H for Halloween. This is the original. It will sound different, but that remix doesn't sound sacrilegious to me. It's a more polished version. I mean, the thing, I don't want, radical reinterpretations with thrashing guitars and like fucking drum solos. I don't want that. I don't know why anyone would want that. It's so massively big departure. You want that? YouTube is full of everyone doing their own renditions of all Carpenter stuff on a fucking flute, on a church organ, on the bongos. I mean, that's how John Carpenter learned how to play music, on the bongos, 5/4 rhythm. I've got the bongos, they're actually over there. They're just over there. I did videos on this. I can't play them now, actually. I'm not going to get them out now. I don't just get my bongos out just willy-nilly, You've got to woo me first. And then I'll be just as wooed back to you. So you can hear there's a massive difference in the actual sound quality, the clarity of it, because it's more polished, newer technology, it's fresher sound. But it's just the same sound, it's the same music. But you've got to turn this up now. It's pounding, isn't it? And relentless. Carpenter he's just a genius at creating sort of a momentum, a sense of momentum. Escape from New York is full of this sort of stuff. Halloween is full of it as well. But even though it might be slower, the shape is just walking slowly after Laurie or whoever. Big butcher knife in hand. Sorry, I'm tapping my foot here, and I'm tapping my knee. And if you guys aren't doing the same, there's something wrong with you. If you've got no legs, I do apologise. See what I mean? My mouth just runs away with itself. There's almost like, I don't know if you can hear it, and it's beyond the remixed version as well, I'm sure. I didn't manage to pick it out. It sounds like a tambourine, a synthesized tambourine going as well. It is there. It's so suppressed on this though, can't quite hear it. Cheers everyone. Cheers Big John. Loved all his music of late. I hated the Halloween new movies, but I loved his scores for them. I don't know who's scoring the Exorcist movies for Blumhouse. I've got a feeling that it isn't Big John. I think we'd have known about that by now. So, and I think they're gonna. The trailer put in Shooby the Bells in there. See, it's ghostly. It's almost like Dark Star with the hanging glass jars, like smacking those and getting those sort of glacial little echoes and chimes. Which is it? Doolittle, the captain of the Dark Star. Doolittle retreats to his room and he plays all these glass jars, and there's an element of that here. But where's this bit? This doom-laden bit, which I think is fabulous. Is it? I should know her. This is finding the old granny, and like you discover it's actually a robot as well. Like, as almost everybody in this movie is a robot. Because Conal Cochrane of Shamrock in Santa Mira, he's a warlock, and he's the toy maker, but he creates an army of androids, and he creates those little chips that go in the back of microchips, not fried chips, that go into the back of these masks, and when the signal goes out, it's time, gather round kids, make sure you're wearing your mask. And all that shit comes on, like, and then suddenly they go, "Whoa!" I've reviewed the movie, folks, and all the masks. There's such a doom-laden aspect to some of this score. Like, this is you. No matter what you do, Dr. Dan, hero, and he does destroy the factory seemingly, and it gets to it. This was the 80s. We didn't have that many major channels in the UK. We only had we had 2 channels, then we had 3 channels, then we got 4. Now we got fucking thousands. But Dr. Dan manages to get the signal taken off from the big broadcast at 9. But they leave one channel on at the end. Turn it off now, turn it off. And it ends. So some people, their heads would have turned to maggots and spiders and snakes. It's the greatest trick of all. A trick on the children. So, anyway, what should we go on to now? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the obvious. And it's not Escape from New York. It isn't. I love Escape from New York. Of course I do. You fucking know I do. I mean, look at me, for Christ's sake. And he's borrowed my eye patch. There's me life clock there. I forgot to charge it, so seemingly I've survived. Bombs didn't go off. Right, now, I've done videos specifically on Assault on Precinct 13, the score. I've got the original score, I've got it on vinyl as well, but I've got the remix that Carpenter put out. And I'll be honest, I love the remix sound even better. So let's go on to that main theme. This is... I know, regular viewers, we've done this a lot. And we'll probably do it a lot more as well. Oh, it's fat. Fat with a PH. PHAT exclamation marks. It's fat, it's a fat, whoa, sit right on your face kind of sound. And it's those reeds. I don't care what other remixes he does of this, they're never going to top this one, never. But there are some enterprising YouTubers out there who are DJs and have done spectacular versions of this. There's one which I play quite a lot, and it's like a dance version, but it's respectful and it's fucking amazing. I don't know if I can play it. Well, if I'm going to get blocked, I'm going to get blocked. But I'm sure Bradonimus or Bradonimus, who did this one, he won't mind a bit of promotion. So we'll play this. How blisteringly cool is that? I remember as a kid when I first saw this, and I did not see this at the flicks. No, I have seen the flicks. I didn't see it when it first came out though. But I saw a TV broadcast of it, and oh my god, we had a Binatone 3-in-1. That was like a 4-inch black and white TV screen, a cassette deck, and a radio. It's a 3-in-1. Binatone made it, and you could put a cassette in and record the TV or the radio. But I recorded this. Oh my god, I played those cassettes till the tapes got snagged up and ripped to shreds. Ah, it's just amazing, isn't it? It gets inside you and really hits you where you live. And it's a hard, brutal movie as well. I'm going to go on to the windows. This is the big attack where they free Napoleon Wilson, Darwin Jostin, and Tony Burton, who trained Apollo Creed and then trained Rocky Balboa. And they, hurry up, they're coming down the hallway. And sadly you can see the wall is shaking, not just the door, but the wall is shaking. That's just a set. And suddenly, like, Ethan Bishop has managed to break up the lieutenant, the young lieutenant, manages to open the crate. Oh, it's a rifle and a shotgun. Take that shotgun. Luckily, it's fucking loaded. And the door bursts open from the cell block, and the gang come in, and he goes, and then goes, you know, he's on death row. I'm like, you've just given me a shotgun. I've just killed more people. But they will work together. Oh, this actually is the theme for Napoleon Wilson. It's brilliantly done, John. God, fucking, I don't know how you come up with this. Of course, this remixed version, Alan Howarth has been brought on board to help do this one. But it was originally just John Carpenter. You know, you should always tell the truth. Because sometimes, even a little white lie can sometimes trip a man up. And he swings the chains round and knocks over the prison warder. Because they've already knocked him out of his chair and, like, you know, clubbed him to the floor. And he just gets up and says, like, I don't sit in chairs as good as I used to. So when they all get him after tripping up the prison warder, and they get the shotguns to his head like that, and he's up against the prison bus, he goes, he doesn't stand up as good as he used to. What I love about this remix of Assault on Precinct 13 is that you've got some extra cues in here as well, and they're extended. A lot of the cues are actually extended as well, like this one. Oh God! when I'm outside the boundaries of Kilt Mansion, whether I'm just strutting a boot or I'm walking Roxy the dog, who is lying on the floor there. The Thing is on the floor right there. And I've got my earphones in, and I've got stuff like this playing. It's just, you fucking strut. You know, like, people part like the Red Sea. Well, they do anyway, because it's Kilt-Man. And they bow as they go past. And I throw coins. And dog treats by mistake. And as I go to pick up the dog treat, Roxy's there like a shot. Mine! The games you play with the peasantry. So that's Napoleon Wilson. That's his theme. But here's the windows. You still got them reeds getting smacked about. That's like tapping, bamboo reeds. Isn't that addictive, that? And he breaks the rhythm and goes up and adds an extra little note. So only Carpenter knew where he was going with that sinuous rhythm. And the gang's coming through. And of course, they're completely fucking brain dead anyway. You've got all the loops or whatever you call them, the screens, and they're coming straight through, sticking their heads through these things. So they just go, hello, boom. It's not like that whistle. No, it is the Napoleon Wilson theme, but it will be embroidered and go off on a variation. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. But listen. The sustain level rises slightly. It's enough to adrenalise you. And this is the last in the movie. Each character gets a little moment of bang, bang, bang. Yeah. It's like a montage. And what follows is Julie, which is Julie's death, which is what you're going to get. This theme here. There's a bloody fly in here. I've left that back door open again, haven't I? Yeah. Now this is bugger off, will you? Jeff Goldblum making another cameo appearance. I mean, it's nice, it's very tragic, and it's very different from the sort of thing that Carpenter would normally do. I wonder how he reworks it in Anthology II. I don't know. Well, we'll find out, won't we? But now, was I going to play something else? Yeah, I know what we'll do. Well, this is a longer video than I thought. It was just going to be about, Anthology 2's coming out. But you know me, I'm going to start playing this stuff. Okay. Well, okay, no. Well, but do this the way I want to do this. Regular viewers know this is my favourite bit from Escape from New York. The Duke arrives at the library. That's the Duke. I know the sound of his engines. Don't cross the Duke. And like Maggie, Brain, and Cabby splits off in the cab. Cabby, you slime! And they go and hide. But Plisken's just stood there with the Mac 10, the Ingram. As this chandelier-headed Cadillac comes through on super hydraulics. And Snake just stands there like, I need to meet you because you've got the president. But like, okay, there's a few more of them. Maybe, all right. I'll try the covert style then, so he goes and hides in the shadows. But this, it's got soul to it. Because Isaac Hayes, it's purely synthesized. And yet it sounds like there's tambourines and there's bongos and all sorts of, exotic percussion. And like a cello, can you? Dum 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 dum, dum 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 dum, dum 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 dum. But it's not. It's all fucking synthesized. And I thought the Snake will do a little covert attack on one of the cars in his armada. Gets one guy in the car. The other guy comes round and has a look in like that. Where's my mate gone? Boosh! And he gets hit with the sound suppressor of the Ingram. There's a lot of things about Escape from New York and The Thing are my favourite movies forever. But there's a lot of elements in Escape from New York which you go, no, come on. You don't put a silencer on a machine pistol, which is what the Ingram Mac 10 is. It's a fucking machine pistol. You don't put a telescopic sight on it. You might put a sound suppressor on it. I know, because I've got it. But you don't put a fucking telescopic sight on it. You're never going to use it like that. And here's a Magnum 357 with a fucking bloody telescopic sight on it. It's a wheel gun. It's a revolver. You don't hit someone with the end of a sound suppressor. You're going to break it off. Oh, isn't it great? They've commandeered this vehicle now. So Maggie and Brain get into this, and they're going to go down to Broadway. Brain, this is Broadway. I know. Duke will take 7th Avenue. They'll give us 5 minutes on him, Brain, no! Yes, what's wrong with Broadway? And they drive past the severed head on a stake on the side of the road. And everyone goes, is that the president? Because the head they've used is a baldy head of an older guy. And you think, even when I first saw it on its premiere, twice in one night in London, at its big premiere with my dad, back in 1981, I was there. And even I thought, is that the president's head? Like this, on a stake. That's a husky doing that. Right. The 69th Street Bridge. This is the chase over the bridge. It's mined, but we know where they're planted. We got a map from a guy that got all the way across before they shot the poor bastard. He got all the way across, did a map of where all the mines are, and then they shot him. How did you get that fucking map? Who cares? We got it anyway. It's dizzy, daft and stupid, but hey, we love it. So this is... But you get the sampled steel drums. So the Duke's thundering after them now. Not steel drums. That's a sampled version. And it has a glistening effect to it. But that's steel drums you're listening to. That's what your brain's telling you. And it's all tying in with, of course, Isaac Hayes. Again, it's fat, folks. Fat. This was great when he first got the vinyl of it, which I've got the original vinyl of this as well, and the stereo effect, which comes up there, and it floated all the way around. You're like, does it again. It was like, wow. So you get your mates round, and they go on like, oh, God, is he going to play Escape from New York again? Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, oh God, he is. Cheers to All the mates in the world. We've all got mates. Cling to them, because they're your mates. You lose them, you might never get them back. So this will be on the new anthology, a revamped version of this. I presume it'd be more polished. I hope there's no guitars. Oh God, no, don't do that. Don't go heavy. That's good, isn't it? Again, you've got that kind of hanging bottle effect. And you fill them with water, or different measurements of water, and you get all water chimes and stuff. Oh dear. Adrienne Barbeau just bit the big one, got crunched up by the Cadillac, and a absolute... The amount of blood you'd have to use to fill her cleavage would probably fill the Grand Canyon. I wept when Maggie died in this. I wept. I still do, actually. You're Pliskin. And she looks him up and down. I want to meet the Duke. And Kurt Russell just goes, well, what I miss. Oh, I love this as well. Oh God, we're here now. Let's carry on. Fuck it, let's carry on. It's over the wall. You've only got the president now and Pliskin. President's getting winched up. The Duke comes running down. The Duke's now got his gun. He's got the Ingram. And Pliskin's there like, oh, his leg's still. He has a crossbow bolt on his leg as well. And he's trying to get up. He's got the tourniquet on his leg. When I go full Pliskin in the full kit, I wear the purple bloody tourniquet as well. And I can limp like the best of them. I can limp like I've only got one leg. He leaps off. And it's a bit of a lackluster final fight between, Snake and the Duke. But Snake's only got literally, a few seconds left. So it's like, poof, bang, and then, his leg's dragging, and he gets on the winch. Fucking Duke takes out the black bellies, the police. It's like, come on. And then the president goes, you're the Duke. You're the Duke. And he's on the bonnet of the car. You're the Duke of New York. You're a number one. I'm like, this is going, fucking get me out of here. And you get the Texas switch on the other side where Dick Warlock, who played the Shape in Halloween 2 and was always Kurt Russell's stunt double throughout many, many movies. Snake's coming down the other side and the winch gives way, and he drops to the floor, but falls behind one of the black bellies, the police jeeps, but Kurt Russell's hiding below there. So Kurt Russell gets up, because he didn't make that drop, gets up and he's limping even better. It's seamless and you totally buy into that. That was Kurt Russell that dropped and got up again. The Tate Pliskin, Lee Van Cleef. It's like that. That's it. And Pliskin lives on to consign the world to potential World War III. And then even worse things happen. He ends up in Escape from LA. Oh, God, Jesus, God. And here's the unused end credits. The Snake Shake, which Carpenter composed, was going to play over the end credits. But it's way too upbeat. It's great though, isn't it? Yeah. It seemed like so many DJs adopted Carpenter's beats and rhythms, because even though he didn't know he was creating dance tracks at the time, but he fucking well was. How boss is this? This sort of shit, this would clear the dance floor, but I'd be the only one there. Like, fucking giving it loads. I'd be in a complete trance state. Remember all that? Trance? I do. My God, I wish I'd been wearing a kilt back in them days. God almighty. Now when I get into a club, I start strutting stuff, throwing some shapes and making some moves, and then people are like, they're drawn. Oh, look at this guy. Normally got a vest on, and I'm like fucking pumped up, and like, wow, and the kilt's on, and they're coming over, like, wow, get a circle of people, women, dancing around you, and then they're gonna look at your face, well, this face, and they go, and off they go. Shit. But again, Carpenter and music. He now knows the gift he's got for music, and he's going through this sort of, well, later life odyssey of composing and remixing and new stuff. I hope there's a Lost Volumes Volume 4. There will be. It's not going to stop. I mean, this is the thing about Anthology Volume 2. He hasn't just done this, I don't think. As I've read, I think these are what he's already done, which for them, the single releases to go alongside those box sets. So, he's done all this already. So, what else are you doing? Hopefully, Lost Themes Volume 4. And of course, he's done soundtracks. He did a soundtrack for the remake of Firestarter. It was the only good thing about that movie, was the soundtrack, which is great. It's great. And of course, the Halloween movies. And again, the best thing about those movies is his soundtracks. I can't believe these two guys aren't like giving a bit of a boogie. A boogeyman boogie. You are the boogeyman. Come on now. Folks, I have been on with Shelby Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, in this ever synth-tastic in-between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And I am going to see you all later. And let's hope we don't get blocked for playing all this stuff. Lap of the YouTube gods.